You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Training Thursday show, we're going to get into how to lymphercise for fun and fitness. And you know what? I went into a lot of what moving and basically working the lymphatic system is and how to do it on episode 222. So if you didn't check that out, definitely go back, listen to that after today's show, because on that show, I go a little bit more into how working the lymphatic system through using a rebounder is phenomenal for your health, and they're using it right now to improve cardiovascular health, meaning like heart disease, to improve blood pressure, to improve skin flow, so any skin-based issues, autoimmune issues. It works great for weight loss. They're using it right now for cancer-based therapy. So you might be saying, well, it sounds like the cure-all. And the funny thing is that, there aren't these things that are cure-alls, but what happens is they are good for so many different systems or facets of the body, even brain as well, Alzheimer's, dementia. And the reason is this, is that your body is not made up of individual little parts, right? We look at it that way, but our body functions as a whole. And whenever something functions as a whole, if you improve one thing, if you improve one major thing to your body, like your lymphatic system, it improves everything in your body, right? Like that's where we really went wrong in conventional based medicine or, allopathic medicine, what you go to today for your PCP or MD. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. You absolutely should have a, PCP or primary doctor. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is this, is that we are no longer looking at the body as one total system. So when we have something wrong with our heart, we go to a cardiologist. When we have cancer, then we're going to an oncologist. If we have ear, nose, and throat issues, we're going to go to an ENT doctor. If we have stomach issues, we're going to go to a gastroenterologist. So, meaning like there's all these separate doctors, again, which is great. They're more specialized in that one area. The problem is, a lot of times, they don't work. Now, again, nothing against that. But what happens is I have people come into my practice every single day. They're seeing the best of the best in the Boston area, and they're not getting better. And the reason is, if you have a GI issue, a lot of times it's related to other things going on in your body besides just your stomach, right? And a lot of people mistake their stomach pain for actually small intestine pain because your stomach is right below your rib cage, right below where you give someone the Heimlich maneuver, and your small intestine is what's around your belly button area. But again, it's just because obviously no one knows their anatomy, right? Nobody knows where all the organs are in their body. Most people don't know where their spleen is, and so or the pancreas or any of these things. And why would we expect anyone to know that if we're not teaching that as part of general education? So that's the issue, is that a lot of people complain about their stomach, and of course their doctor's like, oh, okay, let's look for an ulcer, or let's do a GI scope, but let's actually see what's going on there. But the issue is in the stomach. It's right below that. It's what happens when it empties the stomach into the duodenum, or that first part of the small intestine, where it might be small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. They feel symptoms of IBS. They have inflammation of the gut. They have yeast overgrowth. All these different things. But I want to get back to today's topic. So what we're looking at is why can something like lymphercise, which I'm going to talk about now, is a fun word for exercising your lymph. And your lymph, believe it or not, is 4 times the amount, essentially, of blood that you have in your body. And it's really imperative that we keep it moving. But the problem is, as humans now, we've become so advanced, and I'm using air quotes, that we don't really move our bodies that much. I mean, we honestly don't. Most people have a desk job, or if you're using a standing desk, that's fine too, but you're still not moving your lymph, you're just standing in place. And a lot of times that can be worse only because people don't stand with very good posture. They lock out their knees, so they're getting blood clots, or they're getting that blood just pooling down the legs because they're locking out their knees and they're swaying their lower back. That's not good for the long term either. So what has to happen as as humans is we need to move. And that's why I love a walk in the morning if possible. I love a lunchtime walk. And then, of course, after work, after dinner, if you can do a little walking then too. But just try to get your 10,000 steps per day. That means it's not exercise, but it means you're active. It means you're human, that you go back to your original DNA, which is to move. And so this lymph system only moves when we are moving ourselves, or when we're getting a massage, or we're doing dry brush, or we're doing something like which I'm about to talk to, rebounding or moving that lymph. So episode 222, if you haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out. I go much more in depth. I give you 33 reasons why you should be using a rebounder. I'm not going to go through those 33 reasons today, because what I'm going to do is a little something different. I like to build off of each show if possible. So if you're new to the show, if you get the time, I just recommend kind of going back, picking out some of your favorites. Maybe you love Motivation and Mindset Mondays, or you're into wellness, maybe not as much weight loss, into training. Go back and at least absorb the shows that you feel will be the most beneficial for you. The other thing is, keep in mind that every show, in my opinion, is beneficial for every person who lives on this earth. And the reason is this, is that you'll notice that I never really talk about just one thing. I'm kind of tied into life overall. And that's because, again, there's no separation between maintaining a healthy weight and decreasing inflammation. And there's no separation between getting well and also doing all the different things that help get one well, which is sleeping, or could be detoxification, or it could be watching what you eat those couple hours before bed, any one of those things. So today, let's talk about the lymphercise. It's not hard to do. That's why I also like bringing this, is that every single person, 99.9 out of 100, is going to be able to do this. Whether you are literally 2 years old, probably not too many 2-year-olds listening to the show. I don't think that's my demographics, but you could do this with your 2-year-old, which I'm sure they would love to do, all the way up to your 80s. I mean, you really can. And that's because a rebounder is a trampoline. That's all it is. And they make trampolines, which I'm going to link up in the show notes, the one that I use, the one that we have in the studio, the one that I recommend, that you can hold on to with a pole, so that if you don't feel like you have great balance, well, that's how you learn, by holding on. And I want to give you a little interval workout base today to do with this. So this is something that I do. I don't talk about my morning routine a lot. I'll give more of my personal recommendations and what I do in the future. But one thing I do every morning that I think has helped me out tremendously, again, not on day one, but things accumulate. A lot of times when I work with someone one-on-one, whether it's through Skype, international video, or it's in Boston, is that they have to understand that natural medicine works over a period of days and weeks and months. And that's because I gave someone the analogy today. When you plant a seed in the ground, it does not blossom. It doesn't pop up. You don't get a fruit, a vegetable, a plant right away, right? It takes weeks to grow, but it's growing. It's under the surface. You just can't see it yet. And of course, I didn't make up this analogy, but it's the perfect analogy, because you need to water it. You need to feed it. You need to make sure the soil is pure. All of these things in order for it to grow. So just keep in mind, when, like my morning routine, I add this lymphatic-based work to it. A lot of times, I don't have a rebounder at my house because I live in the city. The place is smaller right now. If I lived outside the city, then I would definitely have a rebounder. Now, I use the rebounder because I have 2 studios, so that allows me to use the rebounder. So I am using this quite often. But my big thing is, you can do rebounding anywhere, and it's just by jumping. Honestly, you can do jumping jacks, you can do jump roping, or you can do something that I do, which is just literally jumping up and down, jumping up and down. Now, it's different because when you use a rebounder, you get the gravitational, like those G's, you get a G force against you that's pulling on you. Nothing strenuous, nothing too crazy, but you do get that movement where it's just kind of like bouncing into the ground, popping you back up. Really amazing stuff. And again, I use this myself, just not at my home. If you have a basement, if you have the space, these things tuck away really easily. They're very small. They're not like the large ones you have to keep outside, and I do recommend absolutely picking one up. So let's get right into the ways that I would recommend you do your intervals. Really, really simple. Again, let's say you're just starting out. You're not used to doing any of this jumping or bouncing or rebounding. What I'd like you to do is hop on the trampoline right in the middle. And what I want you to do is I want you just to press down slightly on the trampoline and let it just bounce you up a little bit. Just do tiny, tiny jumps, like a half an inch, right? Just to get your body comfortable. Again, you can hold on to the post that it comes with, or once you get more comfortable, you're going to push down, you're going to jump back up, and when you feel comfortable, you're going to really spring. You're going to push down, jump up, push down, jump up. And I want you to do this for 20 seconds, okay? That's it, just 20 seconds. See how you feel. I'm telling you, it's going to get your heart rate ramped up. Now, if this sounds like an interval, like an actual exercise interval for fat burning, it absolutely absolutely does do that. And one of the things that I love to do is switch things up with my personal body transformation clients too. And I will use this at the end of the workout. And their bodies aren't used to it if they haven't been doing it. So it's fantastic for 4 weeks at a time. That could be the interval at the end of your workout. So much benefit from it. But why do I like to do it first thing in the morning? The reason is your lymph is just stagnant overnight. When you're lying down, that lymph is not really moving. So you want to wake up, you want to get things moving. I love dry brushing in the morning, but also, when I get out of the shower, even right before, I'll do some rebound, I'll do some jumping. And what I'll do is I'll literally jump up and down for 20 seconds to 30 seconds. And for me, it's not meant to be a workout. It's meant to actually circulate not just my lymph. So yes, it circulates my lymph, which is why I'm doing it, but also it gets my blood circulating. So this literally oxygenizes all of the red blood cells in my body. I'm breathing deeply through my nose. I do it with my eyes closed. And the only reason I do that, it's almost like a little meditation type thing. I just find it absolutely fantastic. I only do it a couple times, and that's enough for me to really feel like I'm ramped up and I'm ready to leave. Like I leave the house that way, and it honestly, it energizes me right before I get changed, ready to go out for the day. So you can do it however you want to. I'm going to actually link up a video today in the show notes. It's from 5 years ago. I just watched it for the first time in probably 5 years. It's pretty terrible, to be honest with you. It's me from 5 years ago. I don't know if I was having an off day that day or not, but not a lot of energy, not a lot of whatever, but what it will do, it's only like a minute long. It will show you an example of me teaching Sarah, who I'm still great friends with. She's fantastic. We just don't work. I don't work with Diet.com or any of those companies anymore. But the videos are great, and they do really just really short examples of how to use a rebounder, just the 20 seconds of jumping like I was talking about. And then eventually you can work to 30 seconds, 40 seconds, or even a minute of jumping at a time, and then take the same amount of time off. So if you just jump for 30 seconds, take 30 seconds off. Jump again for 30 seconds, take another 30 off, do it again. And you can do that for about 5 rounds, maybe even 10 rounds. That could be a whole workout. You could even do push-ups in between. So there's so many great things you can do. What I want you to think about is not, like, oh, I don't have a great workout, I don't have this, I don't have whatever it might be. These things just keep your body active. A lot of times, that's what's most needed. When I talk about, when you're trying to get your body in shape or lose weight, you just need to start. Like if you're doing nothing right now, you just need to move forward. And if you've never done rebounding or jumping on a trampoline before, just hop on it, hold on so you feel comfortable for the first time or 2 times, and just bounce for 30 seconds. I'm telling you, it's going to get your heart rate going. It is going to be cardiovascular work besides lymph-based work. So, but when you're doing it, yes, you're getting a great workout, a cardio-based interval workout, but you're also improving your heart, your blood pressure, you're helping to circulate that blood. You're doing all of these nice anti-cancer and just overall wellness-based things. When I talk about anti-aging, like this is something that I plan on doing for the rest of my life because of the amazing anti-aging based benefits, but also what it does for my joints. As long as I'm not locking out my joints, it's helped strengthening my ankles, all the muscles and bones in my feet. There are over 200 of them, in my knees, my lower back, my hips. It absolutely is fantastic. The more I talk about it, the more I want to do it right now, and I actually might right after this podcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to link this up in the show notes for today. Very simple. I'll put that PDF back in there, but check out 222, that episode, if you didn't see it. Today, all you have to do is simply go to stevencabral.com/271, and that will just be the show notes. Of course, all the show notes are always free, and they're just links to all of the things that I talk about, just in a little bit more depth. Have a great day, everyone. I will talk with you tomorrow on our Friday review. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners,
I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.